Kickoff starts now.
So, another main topic going on right now is players opting to sit out for the 2020 NFL season due to COVID concerns. As for us Bears fans, the one Bears player who sat out is Eddie Goldman, which is a pretty big loss. We'll get to that. But the team who has suffered the most from this, I'd say pretty undeniably, are the Patriots. How many players have sat out right now for the Patriots?
Not sure, but it's a good amount. I can tell.
Yeah, it's good players too. It was Patrick Chung, other guys like that.
Marcus Cannon.
Yeah. So, what do you think the impact of the Patriots sitting out will be?
I mean, the impact, the Patriots were a contending team. I wouldn't say for the Super Bowl because, I mean, I don't know if I would go that far. They have Bill Belichick as their coach.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when you have him as your coach, you're never out of any game, never out of anything. Their defense is still really elite. They have Stephon Gilmore. They still have very solid.
But Donta High, or Patrick Chung sat out, and Donta Hightower.
I get it, and I think that their team is still depleted, and I do think that Bill Belichick is doing something a bit mischievous.
Yeah, that's another thing that I was going to touch on is that one of the NFL execs was asked about Belichick, and he's saying, I think he's up to something. Because Belichick, you never know with him. There's always going to be rumors with him about maybe he's just tanking the season to get Trevor Lawrence, even though he did just acquire Cam Newton.
I know this is a bit of a stretch and also, a bit off topic.
Mm-hmm. But
the Jets have been caught in the past since Belichick's been there 4 to 5 times for cheating.
The
Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
Patriots. So my only question to ask is that if they get caught every time, they would have stopped doing it after the second time. Obviously, they keep doing it because it progresses every year. If they get caught against the Bengals, obviously this is something that they naturally do. Because
I have no idea what you're saying. I'm not following.
I'm trying to say that I think that they're a team that cheats pretty often, doesn't get caught every time. Because if they're willing to get those consequences over and over, that means that the times that they cheat must outweigh the amount of their consequences.
The amount. Okay, this is what I think you're saying, but that I don't know. That was still weird way of putting it. But you're saying the Patriots have been cheating more than we've seen, more than has been released.
A lot more. Because if they weren't, then they would have just stopped doing it with all the punishments that they realized they keep getting every time.
Another analogy or a way of putting it that I thought was interesting that I heard from a friend of ours. It's like if a guy goes to jail for stealing and then he gets out of jail and he does it again, his punishment and his jail time is going to be worse the second time. But we haven't really seen that with the Pats, where they're just getting the same punishment, a few suspension or a fine, and then they get over it and do the same thing over and over again.
I'm just really curious to know how often they really do cheat.
Mm-hmm. Because I guess we'll never know unless something huge breaks. But
it's really interesting to me that they've cheated and they've got caught, and I think that the fact that they keep doing it shows that they do it so many times that the times that they get caught, it's still worth it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They're not scared by the punishments, or it just means that the punishments don't intimidate them that much because the NFL hasn't stepped up, and that's part of the reason why. I mean, there are many reasons, but why people aren't big fans of Roger Goodell, because people think he doesn't handle that stuff very well. But moving back onto COVID and the Pats, or just COVID in general, do you have anything you'd like to add about the Pats?
If you enjoyed this episode of From the Den, please remember to subscribe, comment, and like this video.
Or, if you're a Packers fan, remember to dislike and leave a nasty comment. Click the links on the screen to access additional content.